What's up, everybody? I'm John. This is John's Daily Hustle. Welcome to the channel. So you were wondering if lawn care and landscaping is essential employees, if it's considered essential work, if you're an essential worker. Well, here's my take on whether lawn care and landscaping should be considered essential workers if it's not. Now, first of all, as a disclaimer, I highly recommend you guys look at your state's rules and regulations and laws and everything that were set for the pandemic that's going on right now and see if you actually are considered lawn care and landscaping. Don't take my word for it. Last year, just when the lockdown hit, what I did was I just played dumb. I went out and still cut grass until I was told not to. But luckily, I ended up finding out about 2 weeks into the lockdown that lawn care and landscaping is essential worker. Now again, I don't recommend doing that because you could get fined and that could put you out of business depending on the severity of what your state, city, region, everything really considers to be that fine worthy. So why should lawn care and landscapers be considered essential workers? Well, the way I see it, it all comes down to the quality of health. What do I mean by quality of health? Well, I mean several things. Let's think about it. If you let your grass grow up to, 6 inches or even higher, you're going to start promoting a lot of bad things that are unhealthy for life, the quality of life. And by unhealthy, I mean bugs, insects, rodents, etc. like that. So if your grass even starts getting 6 inches high overgrown, guess what? You're going to start welcoming rats, which are going to welcome snakes, all kinds of stuff. And guess where they're going to go when it gets hot or cold? They're going to find their way into your house. And now you're dealing with potential damage to your property because of the rats eating their way into your house, as well as termites and all kinds of other bugs that will be welcomed in with a very tall grass. And then of course you also have things like, mosquitoes growing out there and ticks, ants, and, neighborhood cats. There's all kinds of stuff that'll start happening with an overgrown yard. Then you also have the side of it as not everybody is physically fit to cut their own yard. Mrs. Smith might live down the street and she might be an elderly lady. Guess what? She can't be out pushing a lawnmower or riding a lawnmower out there. Now, I get it. There are people that can, but not everybody can do that. Not everybody is healthy enough to cut their own yard. I'm not trying to make a joke here, but it would be really bad if, somebody was out cutting their grass that wasn't fit to cut their own grass and they had a heart attack while they're out cutting their grass. So that's why I think lawn care should be essential for that. You also have a very high risk of a fire. If your yard gets overgrown and on a hot summer day, June, July, August, guess what? Somebody's riding their bike or out riding their car and they flip their cigarette out the window and it lands in your yard and it's going to catch your yard on fire. Well, if you don't act quick enough or if a fire company doesn't get quick enough, it's going to go right up and burn your house. And then there's a whole nother big problem there. So you also have the factor that not everybody can afford to cut their own grass. For some people and a lot of people, it's actually cheaper just to hire somebody to cut their own grass as opposed to buying it. And let's be honest here, this could be a whole nother video. For you hiring somebody, you're really not saving that much more money buying your own mower and cutting it. You're probably better off long term letting a contractor come do it. But that can be a whole nother topic there alone. But specifically, if people are laid off right now because of the pandemic, everywhere's shut down, they're not working, they can't afford to go out and buy a couple $100 to a couple $1,000 lawnmower just to cut their own yard. Not to forget to mention, not everybody has a garage or a shed to keep all their stuff in or to lock all their stuff up. So yeah, they go spend the money to buy a lawnmower, but guess what? Because it's very hard times, plus there's always those people out there that are just going to steal it regardless. So you leave it out back under a tarp and you wake up the next day and it's gone because somebody's already taken it. And then they can't afford to buy another one. Now, let's look at it from the landscaping side, because now you might be agreeing with me, okay, lawn care should be essential, but how can landscaping be essential? How could somebody building a retaining wall or a brick patio be essential? Well, here's my reasoning for that. People are being quarantined right now, and they're being forced to stay home and home with their families and stuff like that a lot right now. So they're spending more time at home, and they're realizing that their home really isn't adequate enough to host, a whole family function there, even their household function or barbecues and stuff like that. So now they're wanting to have a brick patio put in back there. Maybe their backyard needs to be cleaned up, or they want their whole backyard to look, real nice to where at least they can sit out on their back porch and enjoy life. So that's where the brick patios come into play and landscapers come into play for building that stuff. As well as you have the factor of maybe it was a rainy season and it washed out stuff and now you have a water issue getting into your house. Well, you need landscapers to come and, put in French drains and stuff like that to help keep water out of your house and keep foundation issues from happening. Then you have the retaining wall side of it. Maybe that retaining wall, the only reason why there's a hill there that's not falling into your house is because of that retaining wall. Well, if that retaining wall goes out, guess what? You're going to need a contractor, a lawn care and landscape provider to come build another retaining wall or fix that retaining wall and stuff like that. So you'll have very many issues down the road if that doesn't get fixed then. So that's another reason why I think lawn care and landscapers should be considered essential. So you could say, okay, well, what about the winter time? There's no grass that needs to get cut in the winter time, so why does lawn care and landscapers need to be essential workers in the winter time? Well, guess who's the one that's going to be out plowing the driveways from all the snow and putting salt down to keep you from sliding on the ice? Lawn care and landscape providers. You know, we have to go out and plow out driveways so all the other essential workers can actually get to work, like all the nurses at the hospitals and paramedics and firefighters and police officers and everybody like that has to get to work to where they can do their essential job for sure. So you need lawn care and landscapers to go out and plow their driveways. As well as the ice factor, there is no age limit on ice. Anybody from a kid all the way up to an elderly person and anywhere in between can actually fall and get hurt on ice. It doesn't matter. And you don't always see ice and you don't always know ice is there, you know, like black ice especially. So that's why I think it's very important to have your driveway salted. So here's my opinion on why I think lawn care and landscapers should all be considered essential employees and essential workers. I want to know if you guys may have thought of something that I didn't touch on this subject or on this topic. I want to know it in the comments below, another reason why you should be considered essential. I also want to know, maybe you don't agree with me. Maybe lawn care and landscape employees shouldn't be considered essential employees. Comment it below too. I'm always open to new ideas. I want to hear your guys' take on it and I want to know. Also, comment below if you're in your area, is lawn care and landscaping essential? Like I said, here in my area, at least as of the last lockdown, we were considered essential then, but it might change in the future. So who knows? Comment it below. Also, if you guys know anybody that doesn't agree with whether lawn care or landscaping should be essential workers, send them this video and maybe we can try to help persuade them into actually considering it. Or if you guys know anybody on like the state representatives or on the board or whatever that decides whether or not it's essential, send this video to them and maybe we can help persuade them to make lawn care and landscaping essential. Because like I said, it comes down to quality of health. There's many different reasons why it should be essential and why certain things should get done. So I always appreciate all the support you guys give me. So give this video a big thumbs up and thanks for watching, y'all.